Okay, so thank you very much. Thanks for spending time with us here, Dr. Profit. We did do a poll of people and we had a variety of different I guess levels of understanding about StackR and maybe where people were at. We had some people who were kind of like, let's call it at the very, very beginning stage. They know of
Mhm.
StackR, a little bit about what it is, but maybe haven't done anything with it yet. We have some people who have set up accounts, but need some help with like getting their OMI over from the VeVe app over
Yeah.
to StackR and just some other things too. So those are kind of the things I was thinking maybe we would talk through.
hmm
Um, so maybe what we could start with before we jump in, because I was going to screen share and hopefully that'll be helpful for some people. Um, But before we jump in, can you maybe just talk a little bit about why people would be interested in using StackR? Like why would they use StackR? Like what are some of the benefits of that? Just to kind of start at almost kind of like ground
Yeah.
zero.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So let's start how we started StackR. So one of the original ideas was actually that we have this analytics section, right? And when I started StackR, it was just analytics. What I mean by that is every collectible has also like its page with a price chart with some statistic on the ownership, the last transactions, etc. Right? That was kind of the original intent. And I'm not sure if you guys remember, we had a different sign-up process in the beginning. So in order to understand which user you are, what we did is we asked you for putting a listing um, in the VeVe marketplace for a very specific price. And since we kind of have all the data from VeVe, and what I mean by all the data, we have also listing data. We were able to see that a certain user listed at a certain price. And so once we have that user, so we then have your portfolio, or basically your wallet address. So
Hmm.
we were then able to map that to your wallet, or what we call vault, right? Or it's VeVe also calls it vault, and we could do some analysis on your vault basically. Or for example, we have a function still working, which sets you can complete, and that would only work if we know which user you are. I think back then there are maybe still apps where you can kind of manually update your vault, but that was like the first thing that we didn't want to do, right? So the data is kind of on the blockchain. If you tell us which user you are, then we can show you, for example, which collectibles you could buy in order to complete a set. So that was just the very simple start. And what came out of that in where we are now, we kind of evolved it to a marketplace. And the reason, um, basically, Mitch asked me if we can do it. It is kind of like a regulatory thing that VeVe was very, very uncertain that they can run it on their own. It has to do with the token. Is it an effort of some a third party or their own? And so the decision was made that it has to be a third party. And they looked at this authentication process that we had, and kind of it clicked for them that it could work. That said, the marketplace idea is actually at least 2 years old. And I wanted to convince David that we need a crypto marketplace. And um, but he didn't convince his team. It was someone else in his team that actually came up with the idea that StackR should be doing it.
Hmm.
That's kind of the origin
Gotcha.
story. And yeah, I was always convinced that VeVe needs to be more accessible for crypto users. And this is something we try to do now. We want to be accessible for crypto users, but at the same time, we want to be accessible for Web2 users or someone that is used to VeVe make it similarly accessible. VeVe does a great job with that, right? And
Yep.
we want it to be as easy, but instead of having an onboarding with gems, etc., you just use the native token, the OMI token, to buy and sell.
Gotcha. Okay. So if someone is not necessarily, if they don't have OMI or if they're not like a crypto user, then StackR likely isn't something that they would maybe be interested in. They would just stick with kind of the regular VeVe app. But for those that are more into that crypto side of things or that want, um, I shouldn't say or, and I guess that want to be able to use the OMI token for buying and
Mhm.
selling collectibles
Yeah.
is something StackR's, enabled that for them.
Yeah, but I have to say we want to make it even for the normal users very easy to make it very easy to use. There's some features that I cannot show today, but when they're coming, I would say it doesn't make a difference. Picture you see a good offer on the StackR marketplace, which is, I don't know, let's say 10% below the floor price on VeVe, then you don't have to jump through too many hurdles in order to buy it. Because when you buy it, everything you buy and sell on StackR is actually happening on your VeVe account. In fact, it requires a VeVe account.
Mhm.
And so I guess the question is really, how easy is it to use crypto? And we, I think, made it easy. You just need an email address, basically. I'll show you the details, but I think we managed to make it quite easy, I want to say.
Okay,
And
yeah, and I would definitely agree with that. I've dabbled a little bit. There's still definitely a lot of things that I don't know, so it'll be really cool to get some direction and help from you. Um,
Mhm,
so yeah, that'll be cool. And that is nice because I do think that there's some hesitancy, like even me, and I know I've talked to Raven Magic and a couple other people as well about, like maybe something is easy, but I think there's still this there's definitely this perception that it's crypto and therefore it's going to be hard. And so a lot of times, like
mhm,
even for me, I put off doing some of these things for a while
mhm,
because I was just like, okay, I don't want to take the time to wrap my head around it. And then honestly, like I just moved my OMI from the VeVe app to StackR and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe how easy that was.
mhm.
So it'll be cool for you to show some of those things. Okay, here we are.
So, do you have an account?
I do have an
If
account, yeah.
not, okay. So, I mean, the very first thing is obviously you can sign in or sign up, which happens here. And we have a small test if you're because look, in the beginning we just asked for an email, but maybe let's sign you in. Let's not create because you have an account, right? It's almost the same thing. Create or sign up. Um, you already have linked it with Google. Very good.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm actually going to stop sharing quick while I get in. Um, okay, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm in, and
Um,
and
yeah.
for I guess Magic and for Raven or anyone else that was watching, like what I did was I used my Google account. It automatically prompted me because I have multiple Gmail accounts. So it
Okay.
prompted me, which one do I want to use? I used my Miss Slammy one. Just clicked on it, and because I'm already signed in, it automatically let me in. I don't know, Dr. Profit. I don't because I did set my account up a while back. Is it if someone was creating a new account, it's a similar process, but what might be different with that?
Um, so the provider that we use, Privy, is so what could happen is if you use a different account to sign in, let's say, because me too, I have 5 Gmail accounts, right? Then it will tell you this account doesn't exist, right? So that's why we now differentiate between create and sign in. To kind of like give you a hint, if you accidentally, for example, log in with a different Google account, it will just tell you the account doesn't exist, right? And then you
Oh,
get a hint, because we had literally users that were signing in with a new account, with a new email, and then all their token were gone, and
mm,
and then they were upset, but they were not gone. They were just attached to a different email account, right?
man,
So
oh, God.
look, like it's nothing too special. Do you mind clicking on your settings, which would reveal, I guess, your email or your other sign-in methods? Um, okay. Yeah. So
Oh,
first,
okay.
I would like to mention that you technically don't have to have the same email in Google sign in. So the email that you used in the beginning, let's say it was a Hotmail, could have been a Hotmail, while the Google sign in is now this email address, right? So it happens to be the same, but it doesn't have to be. Yeah. So you can picture it like this. Now your crypto is going to be secured with different login. Could also be your Twitter account. Having said that, I wouldn't. You don't need to connect it with everything. In fact, you could even start disconnecting it, right? So you could, let's say you were using a Hotmail here, you could disconnect it from the Hotmail. I'm not saying you should do it, but it's optional, right? So you technically just need one account to control your wallet, but you could connect, in this case, a different email, Google, X, Discord, and all of these accounts would control the same wallet, if that makes sense.
So
Yeah,
they would all be linked to that same wallet. Interesting. I didn't know that.
exactly. And you could kind of change it later, right? So you could, for example, now disconnect this specific email and then connect another Hotmail. It's very flexible, but I'm not saying you should do it, but it's possible, right?
Sure. Okay.
Um, Maybe a small comment, and maybe don't click on it, but there's export wallet, although you can click once on it below at the bottom. Here, this one.
You want me to click it?
If you click it once, but
Okay.
not a second time.
Okay.
So these
Gotcha.
are this. Let's call it a backup for now, right? This is the key that will back up your is like a backup of your crypto wallet. So technically, if at some point StackR goes down or VeVe, our wallet provider, you could use that to import it to MetaMask, for example,
Gotcha. Okay.
to any crypto wallet. But I have to also admit right now, it's not a good solution because no, look, it is a backup. It is technically the account that gives you access to the wallet. But if you watch closely, it says your wallet address, and that's going to be a different address than your StackR wallet. So this wallet is
Mm,
like it gives you access to your StackR wallet. It's the term is StackR wallet is a smart wallet that can be controlled by a different wallet. There's technical reasons for that we do it this way. So pretty kind of if we want to do gas sponsoring, we have to use smart wallets also for the recovery. But you will see that this address will be different than the StackR wallet address, and the way you can explain it. So this wallet, yes, is that's your private key. You can restore that wallet, but you would almost need like a special software at the moment to control the other wallet. It's something that the provider VeVe will build, so we don't have to worry about it. But I have to kind of say right now, consider as more like a backup, but you might not have immediate access. So if
oh,
we are going down, I wouldn't actually worry about if we're going down. It would be more if the privy, the wallet provider goes down, then there will be some hurdles to get to your crypto, because
gotcha.
this is not a direct private key for the direct wallet. It's kind of an indirect method. I'm not sure if I just want to be open about it. We have a help article on that,
Okay.
but we get this question. So why is this wallet different than the other? And then I'll say like, yeah, this is, yes, it's a copy, it's a backup, but we don't have the right smart wallet setup. So at the moment, it's a hurdle to actually really access your OMI token there. And remember, this is just for your OMI token, not for the VeVe collectibles, which are in your VeVe wallet. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think that makes sense. I don't know if I realized that there was this second wallet
If
that
if you look at it and just remember the first digits, you will see that if you click on your StackR wallet, it will look different.
Okay. Gotcha. Is that here?
Yeah.
It is different.
You see? Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is your smart wallet, the StackR wallet, which is controlled by the other wallet. That's technicalities, but yeah, that's how it is.
Okay. Okay.
Unfortunately, I will not be able to show you the swap today. So we have some technical problems. But if you are on your wallet, we have to we use 1inch. Let me say two things to here. So usually when you have USDC in your wallet, so the way to buy OMI token, I have to say it's going to be very easy. First of all, we're going to have fiat onboarding with MoonPay and Coinbase. Basically, with a credit card, you can buy USDC. And once you have USDC, there's like a small hint. Do you want to swap them to OMI token? And it's just one click. And then this trading mask that I can't show you right now is already pre-filled. And I'm sure there's some video on, I should have some video on that could show you. It's just one click, right? So the way why we did that. So right now, token are on Base. Base is a very cheap and secure layer 2 of Ethereum, and a lot of exchanges offer on and off ramping from Base. Obviously, Coinbase, right? So you can send ETH and USDC from Coinbase for less than a penny, sometimes for free, to your wallet, right? So if you have a crypto account, then it's usually very easy to either send USDC or ETH to that account. In terms of Coinbase, I actually know that Coinbase will sell you one USDC for $1. I think I'm not sure if what type of agreement if it's I'm not sure. There's some banking methods, and one of them will literally allow you to buy directly USDC, and it will be debited from your account, and then you can basically send it to your StackR wallet from there on Base, right? And then it's really for free, and then you can swap it easily. So this would be the most efficient method if you were to have something like Coinbase, and the cheapest method, because you will pay for one USDC exactly $1. Later, when we offer something like MoonPay, I have to check the fees. It might be something like 2% that you're paying to buy USDC. So the best method, if you're price sensitive, will always be buy it on Coinbase, maybe on Kraken, then send it directly to Base. So that's the best way to buy token. And here when you click on Ethereum, right, up there, remember this is the same address. So the wallet address doesn't change between Base and Ethereum. And a lot of people have OMI token on Ethereum, especially when they have it on an exchange, right? And you can send from an exchange, for example, to that same wallet, but they will appear on the Ethereum layer and not on the Base layer. And that's why we have the bridge here. So the bridge, what it does, it sends it from layer 1 to layer 2, or from layer 2 to layer 1. And with Layer 1, that's Ethereum, and Base is layer 2. That's so we make it very convenient. Within seconds or within a minute, you can send them back and forth between layer 1 and layer 2, which is not absolutely normal. Typically, the way back from layer 2 to layer 1 is up to 7 days, but we shorten it to a minute because we provide the liquidity for that. So that's also worth mentioning. What you don't see here is the IMX migration. The IMX migration is literally, if you would write, the best way to reach it now, if you add a slash to the URL and write migration, StackR world / migration. And now, that's interesting. Did you already migrate your token?
I
Or
actually did.
do
Yep, I did.
Hmm?
From VeVe, from the
Yeah.
VeVe app. Yep, I did.
Okay, that's why it says. That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, it should actually say like you already migrated, but okay. So this message is not correct.
Okay.
At some point, it's not going to be important, the migration. So we are kind of encouraging users to send them from there to StackR, because all the tokens that you have on StackR, we reported back your wallet address to VeVe. It counts towards your MCP.
Okay. Gotcha. Good. That was one of the questions. And I had assumed that it did when I moved it. I was like, well, I hope it does because I moved it already. So
Yeah. No, it does. And I also would mention that now I have also shown you the Google sign-in and the other sign-ins. There will be another method. You will be actually able to sign in also with your MetaMask or Coinbase wallet. So it
oh,
pictured really like another sign-in method. And I will talk to VeVe. If users are unsure and they don't want to keep it, the OMI token in the StackR wallet, you will probably also just be able to hold it in your MetaMask if you, or Coinbase wallet, if you feel safer. And then they will also count towards your MCP points. So what
okay.
we want is, we want to encourage users to have it on Base. Currently, 10% of the OMI token are on Base. So it's, and I think it's going to get up from here, maybe at some point 20 or 30%. That's more than any exchange has currently OMI token, right? So it's already a big pool of liquidity on Base.
Okay. So are you, and this is something that you said that isn't there yet, but is in the future. So with that new feature of being able to log into your StackR wallet using your Coinbase
Mm.
credentials, that did
Coinbase
you?
wallet, they also have a crypto wallet. So there's Coinbase, the exchange that, as you said, like credentials you can log in, but they also offer Coinbase wallet. It's actually a quite nice crypto wallet, which is targeted at normal users. It's not like so it's not exactly the same. They are somehow also connected, right? So you can kind of quickly draw from your Coinbase account if you want and withdraw. But
Okay.
it's two different products. It's a mobile wallet.
Okay. Gotcha. And
Uh,
that would that I think I heard you say, but this is what I want to make sure that maybe I could have misheard it. That so like let's just say right now, let's pretend because I don't exactly know. Um, I'll admit some of the like this wallet, that wallet, I don't always maybe understand all the semantics of all of it, but let's just
mhm,
say that I have OMI currently in my Coinbase wallet. Um,
mhm,
would that would that eliminate if that connectivity existed already here on StackR,
mm.
would that eliminate the need for me to move my OMI into the StackR wallet
Yes.
because it read
So
it? Oh,
we have to talk to VeVe that they can also account for them. I think right now they're just able to store one wallet, but it's not a big technical difficulty. So I would normally convince them and ask them, look, let the users add 2 or 3 wallets or external wallets and aggregate the balances of all these wallets.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
I have to say, just we want them on base. So if you happen to have them on Ethereum layer 1, we would always recommend to send them to base and then they count.
Okay. Gotcha. So I'm actually gonna I'm gonna back us up to something else really quick. I'm gonna stop sharing just so I can get logged into my VeVe account quick on the web app. And I'm just gonna show where, because I think that migration page that you mentioned is likely where when I went to my VeVe wallet,
Yes, they also offer the link to that. Yeah,
yeah, the button that
correct.
show that
Yeah.
really quick. Uh, Give me 1 second to get logged in. I actually don't log into VeVe a lot on my laptop. And I think that's what I was saying earlier, that it was so when I had waited so long to do that, but then once I did it, I was super surprised at how simple it was because I want to say it was like 4 steps maybe.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was the intention to make it easy.
yeah, and I had waited so long because I guess what I was thinking was like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna have to. It's gonna what to get it into the VV app was X number of steps that felt a little bit more complicated. You had to wait for
Yes. Yeah.
the transactions. You had to pay gas. Had to make sure you had the right stuff in your
Hmm.
wallet. And so I was quite surprised when this was extremely simple.
Yeah.
And also
So
it looked like I didn't need to worry about like I don't know, does StackR like absorb the gas fees or something like that?
yeah, we do, but it's really we're talking about like 0.1 penny per transaction.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
it's okay.
Okay, so I'm in here now and I realize I'm going to be exposing my wallet here, but so in when you go into the web app and you go to your wallet and then you have the Akomi
Hmm.
wallet, there's this bridge Omi
Hmm.
button. And that is now when I click it, it's going to take me out to StackR. It's probably going to take me to
Yeah,
that page we were just on, right? Yep.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So normally this is where it would then like I can't remember exactly what it all asked me, but like prompt me, are you sure you want to do this? And then I logged
Mhm.
into my EV app from here to connect the two.
Yes.
And
So we might basically request you one more time to log in to really prove that this user is you. So we have kind of a security protocol with VeVe, right? So the reason that you have to regularly authenticate is that we make sure that the StackR user is really the VeVe user, right? And then we have to send like fresh tokens to VeVe, and then VeVe checks them. Okay, that token is generated for sure by you, and then they're happy. Yeah, and then they perform the transaction. So that's like really part of the security setup.
okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool. And then I guess the other thing I was thinking of when let me go back to my wallet here is so in theory, if I want to move, I shouldn't say in theory, maybe I don't know if that's even the right term to use, but if I am going, so I use Rainbow Wallet because it's
Hmm.
pretty user friendly. I really like it. And I have both base and Ethereum OMI
Hmm.
in there. In theory, I should be able to copy this wallet and send Omi from there directly to here, right?
Yes,
To this wallet.
yes, yes. Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah,
I'm actually going to do it
and
for some of my Ethereum Omi. Yep, go ahead. Sorry, were you going to say something?
yeah, I wanted to check if which wallet, which external wallets are supported. Um, I think there could be a general Web3 wallet that I'm just checking in the settings. I haven't seen Rainbow Wallet on the settings, but maybe it's can be done with Wallet Connect. I hope so, but yeah. A MetaMask for sure. I also don't see. I have to follow up, but I think most of the Web3 wallets should be supported also, but then by StackR. But I have to double check that one more time.
Okay. And yeah, I have MetaMask as well as, I mean, I have my Coinbase wallet too, and I have all my wallets imported into there, or accounts imported into there already. So I think that's where sometimes I don't know if I'm using the terms correctly, wallet versus account versus
Yeah, no, it works right now.
Okay, so that is something that maybe I'll test out to see, because I
So
think
you have some token. Right, you have some token on Ethereum L1 now, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah. So now you could,
Sim-
for example, bridge them to base. That's maybe you can bridge the full balance. That usually sometimes that you will see that. Oh, well, you know what we did is because usually we pay gas fees, and they can be quite expensive on L1, and
gotcha.
so that's why we require not. We don't want to do small transactions.
No, that's totally
Sometimes
fine.
the transactions are more expensive than the OMI amount. That's why we set it to 300K.
No, that
But
totally
yeah,
makes
normally you just press this button, and then within a minute there should be. We are sending them from base to Ethereum, and that actually could cost $1, could cost $2, could cost $5, depending on the gas fees. That's
sense.
why
Yeah,
we set up the limit a bit.
gotcha. Yeah, and I just moved over the rest of I wanted to do a small amount first in case I was doing it wrong.
Yeah,
So I just sent the rest over so I can do the whole amount and bridge that to base then
yeah.
once it comes
There will
over.
be a limit of 50 million or so.
Okay, yeah, I don't have that
Uh,
much. Okay, so that helps me because that was one of the things that I wanted to do was get the rest of my OMI over into the StackR wallet from my other wallet
mhm.
there. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think. Let's see. So right now, and maybe this is what you were talking about earlier, so I maybe just want to confirm when you were talking about the swap. So there's not currently a way right now to buy OMI directly through StackR. Is that
Yeah,
a true statement?
I hope we can reinstate it next week, but for now, because we had some missed trades, so basically behind the scene, we're using 1inch. 1inch is super reputable order routing, and we use the right parameters with 2% slippage. But what they occasionally like 5-10% of the orders at a quite bad pricing. When then the users were upset, we made the users good, but we disabled it until there's a way to fix it. I still think it's not our fault, but it's kind of our fault because we don't want our users to suffer that loss. But they have a second method, and the second method to swap the tokens should be safe. But if it happens to you, that you're not happy with that price, because the app tells you, right? So you want to swap $100, it will kind of tell you pretty exactly how much token you will get. And if you don't get that and the price is kind of completely off, then report it to us. However, I really hope that with the next version, it's not going to happen, right? If we implement the SDK from 1inch, we should be able to manage that problem.
Okay. And then, so and a future thing that you had mentioned also, like even further in the future, is being able to buy um like USDC directly through the app
Yeah,
using.
it's not that far. We're gonna get there pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but true. Yeah,
okay. I just don't want to make any assumptions or make anyone
yeah.
think that it's sooner than maybe you guys are ready to do
Yeah,
that. So that'll be
absolutely.
easier because, like, right now, what I do, like you had described earlier, is I buy my USDC through Coinbase and then send it. Well,
Yeah,
obviously, I was sending it to my other wallet and then buying Omi there, but then I should be able to
yeah,
send it here and then could do it direct through the swap directly here.
exactly. Yeah.
May I ask a question?
Okay, go for it.
Please.
So, it's kind of a two-part question. So, we will be able at some point potentially to buy either OMI or USDC directly via StackR.
Mhm.
Then do you see a point in time where anybody on StackR can have different crypto in here? Say they have Bitcoin,
Mm.
and either they swap it to OMI, and or do you see a point in time where people can buy the collectibles with other crypto outside of OMI, or is it always going to be
Uh,
OMI centric?
no, no. I mean, look. I think the current decision is that the listing should be in OMI. So
Mhm.
it was not our decision, but obviously there was an intent that the token should be used more. But since we are burning, one of the other option is also in the future that we accept different cryptocurrencies and do the swap um, to OMI token instantly and the burn. So I'm a big fan of that. I would put that now. I talked about it like into the version 2 planning
Mhm.
because let's say we are version 1 with the marketplace, then we'll do like version 1.1, 1.2, do some improvements. But this is like something bigger and very important. I basically we want to accept cross-chain payments. So you could technically have money on Solana and pay or an Ethereum layer 1. So that's really the goal.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, I know a lot of people. I have family and friends who are like, "Well, once I can do full crypto and buying and selling, then I'm in." So that's encouraging to hear.
Cool, cool.
Um, I feel like, I guess, are there any other things? I know we're about 45 minutes in, and I want to respect your time, Dr. Profit. Is there anything else that you want to kind of point out with StackR that maybe people wouldn't realize that they can use StackR for, or anything like that? Or any other questions, I guess, too, from I think we have Raven, Saloni, and Magic
I think
here.
what we didn't show is basically the buying and selling or listing. So I'm not sure if you have a Tarzan of the Apes comic. You could buy it for under $1
Don't, but
for
here, uh, oops, I spelled it wrong. Kahori. I have a bunch of these.
that would be for listing, right?
Yeah, I can,
So
and
yeah,
I think I already have
and
one,
you already listed, yeah.
and I can go to, so now I'm looking at the ones that I own. I'm trying to get that secret rare and I haven't gotten it yet. So I can click sell for Omi,
So
and
this technically you should only, and it depends if you're completely locked out, but normally if you stay like that, I think it holds like 3 or 4 days. But then after 3 or 4 days, you have to always log in again
okay, I'm gonna
with
stop
VeVe.
screen really
Yeah.
quick and then I'll get logged in. And it looks like it's just sending a security code. Does that sound right?
Yeah, because you already have been logged in before, that also can happens. Yeah.
Was super easy and really fast. Okay, here we go. I'm back. Okay, so let me go back to
Okay, and you
Omi.
have to repeat it. That's not the best flow, but um, yeah, now you have to click again.
Yep, sell for Omi.
We do have this set to VeVe floor, right? I want to shortly highlight that, right? If you click this blue button, set
Oh,
to, it's kind of yeah. And from there, you can technically adapt it. So this is something I would use if you're unsure, right?
Yeah, for sure. Let's see.
That is a great feature, by the way. I appreciate that. So that people don't, mess up and put it, like, way below full floor and sell for a penny when they didn't mean to.
I mean,
That's great.
Try to go. Can you go back, edit, and now sell it? Try to sell it for 5,000. You will get a big warning.
Okay.
That's great.
But even if you initiate, then I think you will be warned again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
So I'll go back and we'll just do just for funsies. And
So now what happens? Try to keep that window open now, and that's something we cannot shorten. Is we're waiting for the base blockchain to react. So we have now signed that transaction also on behalf of you. We send it to the base blockchain, and until you see the success, it is not confirmed on base.
okay.
Maybe this seems quite long, but I have seen it that longer. But now what really happened, and close the window, you will see it pending here. But if you go up, there's recent activity. There you see actually more. Oh, it's already listed 100%. So this item, no, is it? No, it's a new one. Sorry.
Now it
Okay,
is.
5 seconds ago. Normally, I was almost surprised. You see some middle steps, something like communicating with VeVe, because what we do is we first want to have the listing on base, and then we kind of ask VeVe for permission. Sometimes users are not permissioned, like whatever they are blocked or like, and then VeVe will reject that. And then you would see this rejection kind of here in this activity window.
Okay.
So this is not super elegant, but it helps us, or if the user kind of wants to know what happened. If you're normally it should always work, but the ones where it doesn't work, there's a specific reason. So the account might be restricted, for example.
Okay.
And so yeah.
So you're able to respect, I guess, all of the security things that VeVe has in place as well, too. It sounds like.
Yeah, automatically. So we cannot. So sometimes people ask us, "Yeah, can I cash out? My account is blocked on VeVe." No, there's nothing we can do. It's really you have the exact same restrictions.
Okay. Good to know. And then if I go back, let's see. I'm just going to search for. I'll admit I'm probably not the best at navigating. I know how to do what I know how to do on StackR, but nothing more than that. Okay, so there are no listings of this, but did you want to show?
I just wanted to highlight if you at some point give us, for example, if you type in AF15, so I'm able to do synonyms in the database, right? So AF15 is when you type in AF15, it searches for Amazing Fantasy 15. That's why you see that comic, because it's really we taught the search engine kind of synonyms, yeah. And if we're missing something, somebody told me we should do GS for gold silver logo, and then I added it within 5 seconds. GS should actually show you the
That's really sleek.
Yeah, it is. I know we had some feedback that we submitted to have it. I call it a smart search so that it knows to
if you don't find something and you feel very strong that we should have like a synonym, for example, it's just really bad example, but if you type in Walt, so it will find the partners that you immediately
that was going to be one of my questions. I like it.
Nice.
Do you have any idea how many collectibles and comics that you've done that for? Like these synonyms?
Not a lot. So if you come up with a list, at some point we can just add it. So I did it like, I don't know, for 5 comics, and like I think the search use is much better now. We had like look, it's an Algolia search. It's actually really easy now. the search, and it kind of ranks by market cap. So in a way, the most important collectibles will be found first. But sometimes I think some of the comics are very scarce, and sometimes we would have a very high floor price, right, on some of the. So we have to kind of see if that really works well.
I like it. I actually was just going through all my comics and listing on the VeVe app, but not on StackR, which I might start doing on StackR instead.
Can you check, for example, if you go on my listing, have you seen that? Just wanted to go on your icon on the top right. And here, these are your listings.
Yes.
You can also remove them here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, so like I could remove the one that which one did I get today? This one if I wanted to.
yeah.
But when I was doing this on VeVe, I kept having to type in the exact name, at least the beginning part. So it was like I
Yeah.
was had to put Spider Dash Man or Amazing Spider Dash Man to find the one. So I really like that.
Yeah.
That
And
search.
let me tell you something. If you first of all, if you don't find something with us, tell me, because I can like literally like log into the search engine and I see exactly why it wasn't found, and potentially can either add a synonym or look at the rules if they can be fine-tuned. And that said, I actually talked to Dan, and we had like a 1 hour session the weekly, and I showed them the Algolia search, and I think they have some priority now to exchange this search. And it's I'm kidding not, that and he asked like how much does it cost, and it's like it costs like I looked at the receipt, $20 a month. So basically, it's a hosted search engine, and there's not like a lot of indexed search. It's not a lot of documents basically that Algolia has to keep for us, and it was literally $20 the monthly cost at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing this chat bubble in the bottom right corner of her screen. Now, is that a feedback bubble for if we wanted to provide you feedback on synonyms and things like that? Or
You could actually, you could.
what would be
Then
the best
I'll
way
see
for us
it.
to do that?
I'll see it, but look, you can also send me a message. But look, we maybe in the future you will see a feature request button. And yeah, this is kind of, if you have problems and you want to send us an email, this is the best way, because then we also see a little bit the user context better.
Right.
If you want to contact us, right? I highlighted also the AI answers because they're far away from perfect, but they will become better. But you can even ask some stuff like, I have OMI token and I want to cash out. What do I do? It should kind of give you something.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That,
Realize that was there. I also didn't know where your help documents were, so that's also helpful to know that's where I find them.
Yeah, I wanted to ask because
yeah.
I'm like, I'm not trying to get him 1,000 DMs a day. So I'm like, what's the best way to give you feedback if people are like listening to this back?
Look, actually, the best way is we have a feature minus request at StackR.world. I will expose the email address also on the website. And everything you send there, we just keep, right? And then everyone can read it. And if you have some feedback and it's not a bug, so bugs you just send to our here. You just use the email. I would like to have the button here, but I don't think it would work. But so this is really for support tickets. And for feature requests, we have another email, this feature minus request at StackR.world.
Okay. Good to know. And then also, I know you had mentioned, so I searched for, this is the airdrop that Brock did. I think it was Friday maybe, for the fiches. and there it looks like there's 2 things listed, and if I wanted to, I could buy it here. I'm not going to
Mhm.
because there are 3 of them, but that's how that would work. And then a lot of times, actually, that's one question I have. How quickly is the information updated here on StackR from, let's just say, like the drop that happened this morning, and people are trying to see like how many are
I
in
heard
circulation?
we have some problems normally. So one user wasn't able to. So we do have almost like a real-time sync. So if you don't see something where you think you should see it, um, I think the search only updates once a day or something. So there might be a small window where you can't search it, but then we have also latest drops. And if you don't see that you own something that you own, it would be weird. But I think I got like one screenshot today where somebody was not able to see the Star Wars drop,
Okay.
and we will investigate that. Yeah, I think there's some troopers today, right? That were dropped.
Yes. And I don't remember which ones I got. Shadow, maybe? Yeah, so a bunch of stormtroopers dropped today. So I think, yep, I have one. Okay, yeah, I just wasn't sure like
Yeah,
what the
you see it. Okay.
yeah. Okay. Magic or Raven, do you have any other questions for Dr. Prophet? I'm gonna stop sharing for now.
Sorry.
No, I think I'm okay. I haven't even logged in yet or set up an account, so now I feel like I have a good start. So that's something I'm going to work on. But I guess my question, I just wanted to be clear. So with StackR, you can only purchase using Omi, right? You can't, like, if you want
Yeah.
gems, you need to use the app, correct?
Yeah, no, exactly. So yeah, always going to be the difference. I think
Okay.
I think there's going to be sometimes some stuff which is going to be cheaper on StackR, right? And sometimes on the VeVe app. Yeah, let's see how it evolves. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting.
So on the VeVe app, you can see it listed for Omi price, and you can also see the gem price on StackR. Is that the
Yeah.
same, or you just see the Omi price?
Yeah, at the moment we only have Omi listings. What we do have is the VeVe floor price.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
it's something we might be able to improve a bit on. So right now we just show the VeVe floor price here.
Sammy, could you show me where you would look to see, like, if you were trying to finish a set or if there's a set you needed?
Yeah, if you go on analytics
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna learn here.
and the sets here. And here you should, interesting, be able, yeah, maybe we have to repair it. So we neglected a lot, but can you click on one season? I don't know what happens if you click on, no, you can't click on, but you can select it. Can you select season 1, for example?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it's actually everything selected. Okay, look, it's not working right now, but you have now, basically we show you in this function what are the cheapest set that you can um, finish.
Hmm, nice.
Um, or you can sort it by price. Yeah,
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I haven't actually used this yet, but this is where I would be able to see what sets
yeah,
I have, even in potentially incomplete sets, right? For
exactly.
people to complete them.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Raven?
No, I don't think so right now. I think I need to get in there and kind of play around with it first.
Okay. Yeah,
But yeah,
and we can, you're ready to, since I've done at least some of the things, when you're ready to jump in, we could always jump in a voice chat too. And if you have questions, I can try to help you.
sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, feel free to reach out to me anytime. And either also to our feature request email if you have some good ideas. So yeah, I will probably do a tweet, and we probably collect user opinion regularly, and maybe I do like a ChatGPT analysis of the most requested feature. We want to be like as transparent as possible on what we want to implement maybe now because it's easier, and then maybe some of the stuff we will push a little bit to version 2.
That's great.
Okay.
I think one of my questions was I don't know if I was listening to Randy's stream or I saw on the feed that when this sort of the opening to all the different IPs went live and people were listing, I know that there was sort of like a small funnel in which it was the StackR was able to process, you know, a certain number of requests an hour, or I mean, that's beyond my technical skills. Has that improved or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are basically able to fix. Look, and it was just a random number, but we decided we gonna quadruple our speed on the listing or capacity, and that worked magic, and then we didn't touch it. So we needed kind of 2 hours to restart the process, but at the same time improve the capacity big. So right now there's enough capacity, let's say.
Okay, that's great. I think that's
Awesome.
good for me. I mean, I would just say if there's anything that we or I or any of us can do for, you know, any future, you know, stuff that you want to put out there, or I mean, I think these kind of videos and training sessions are really helpful for people and for onboarding and letting people know how easy this stuff is. So if there's any way that we can support you, please, you know, don't hesitate to let us know.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you so much, Dr. Prophet, and we'll
Yes.
definitely read. We have
Welcome,
more
guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good week ahead.
Okay.
everyone.
You too, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.